What's going on, junkies? Welcome back to another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. I am your host, Kenshiro, and I have a comic book junkie and anime junkie. And today's show, we're going to be looking at how our childhood has grown up with us and followed us. I mean, with varying degrees of success, I might add. And is there anything wrong with things for kids remaining for only the child at heart? Joining me in studio today, as always, is the great Dada Kuji sitting to my right. What's up, man?
I am here again for a great week of Culture Junkies Live. Yeah, woo woo!
Woo! And sitting across from me is the Dapper One GQ.
Who are you and why you know so much about Car Watch Protocol?
And also from remote, we got Fallen Marvel. What's up, man?
Doing good, guys. 7 more days down. A lot more to go. So we're back again.
Right. And manning the controls or manning the starship is Simon Says on the controls. So thank him for running a tight ship. If this is your first time joining us on Culture Junkies Live, thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us. For the next 45 minutes, we'll be entertaining you with our main topics of the show. And the last 15 minutes is dedicated to you, the people, the powers, in our Powers Yours segment, where we'll talk about anything under the sun that you guys want to talk about. Whether it be, sports or, wrestling or anime or movies or even romantic advice. You might want to be careful with that one. Just being honest. And also, let me also inform you how the show is powered. So, sitting over here to my right, Dado's having trouble with his Legos over there. Over on my right shoulder is our follower goal. And if you trigger the follower goal, everybody in the audience is eligible for a prize from GQ's treasure chest, where we've got PS5 games, we got collectibles, we got coffee table books, you name it. So, tell your friends, come and join the channel and fill up the meter. Also, you can extend the show by filling up the extra life meter over here on our left with bits. As we're going along the show, if we're doing a really good job, donate some bits to the show, reflect that, and once you fill the meter, we'll tack on an extra 15 minutes to the end of Power is Yours. Power is Yours, thereby extending the show, and you can trigger that twice. All right, y'all, let's get to the show. Run the gamut. And, oh, by the way, if you want to avoid the ad break, that is coming on Twitch in just a minute. Go ahead and get us with a subscribe. That would be great. So we got to run the gamut segment. Obviously, the first thing I want to talk about is the tragic passing of Paul Reubens, the actor best known as Pee Wee Herman. He's come to an undisclosed cancer sickness. He was, and I didn't know, but Reubens was 70 years old.
Yeah, he would have been 71 and later this month.
Yeah, did not know that because he sure didn't look it.
Nope.
He did not look 70 years old. And also in other sad news, Euphoria actor Angus Cloud, he passed away as well. On the social media posts from his family, they mentioned mental health as a possible reason. But he was Fez on Euphoria. If you've never watched Euphoria, Fez was one of the best characters in that show.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, Fez was awesome, man. He's a really talented young actor, and it's sad to see that the light has gone out in the universe. So rest in peace to Pee Wee Herman and the Angus Cloud. Prayers are with their families.
Get over here!
Bad Bunny, appreciate the joining this Culture Junkies Nation.
Hey, Bad Bunny, what's up?
Bad Bunny.
What is up?
Hook you up.
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
31 flavors, yes. All right, so in other news, so turns out Gal Gadot may not be done with Wonder Woman after all. Yeah, so recently Gadot had announced in a pre-strike interview that she did for her movie, I forget the movie's name, but it's coming out like right now.
Heart of Stone.
Heart of Stone. Thank you very much, Fallen. Heart of Stone. She let slip that James Gunn and Peter Safran and her are working on Wonder Woman 3. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean it's going to be in DCU proper? Does this mean it's going to be in Elseworlds that is attached to the Snyderverse? Nobody knows because there's no other details, and James Gunn ain't saying nothing. So we'll have to see.
Which is good. He needs to, stop talking.
He's backed off a bit. Like, I think if it's like minor information, like the whole thing with I think the only thing he corrected recently was the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing. Apparently, he said marketing screwed that up. So
Yeah.
that's not a DCU film.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a DCU film. Oh,
According to James, no. He said marketing screwed that up. So yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
somebody says it's gonna roll. Psych.
I don't know. I'm glad she's getting to do Wonder Woman 3 because 84 was really bad.
Oh, she can't go out like that.
Yeah, 84
yeah, she can't go out.
was
Yeah, she can't go out.
like, come on, man. Y'all just don't even. Y'all just having her do all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and if suddenly she forgets she can do all this stuff when she shows Batman v Superman, it's like, okay.
Yeah, like and these token appearances in Shazam 2 and the Flash. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. We don't want that to be the last. No. Mm-mm.
And both very mediocre films.
Yeah.
So far as mediocrity, I mean, like as far as like the new thing, it's like what, like 4 for 4 post Wonder Woman.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, seems to be all downhill. And also what's downhill is the scalpers are at it again. The scalpers and resellers have found their latest grift, and it is those Spider-Man 2 limited edition and dual faceplates and the DualSense controller. They snagged them boys up in minutes, and they're already up on eBay for as much as $222. When
Are you serious?
Yes. When the original price was only $65.
Well, again, that goes back to the standard thing of supply and demand. But
Yes.
at the same time, it comes a point when it's like, look, you guys are making these, and they're called collector's editions for a reason, or a limited edition. That's for the people that actually want the stuff. Usually. Yeah, that's what that's for. So I'm getting mine. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get another PS5 Spider-Man.
You gonna buy the PS5 Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because why not? And then I'm getting an extra controller. So
okay.
Controllers
so for those of you that are hoping to maybe still get your hands on it, you better be ready, because retailers there's hope that various retailers will restock it on the day of launch, which is September 1. So you might want to be sitting at your computer about 11:50 p.m. the previous night on August 31st and ready to hit refresh and put that boy in your checkout and do it real fast, because I'm sure the bots will be on it.
See, here's the thing. This is where GameStop actually came through. I went to my GameStop and just pre-ordered it. I put money down.
Oh, yeah?
Like, here you go. I want mine.
Okay.
And so GameStop actually came through on that one. That's unusual to say.
But that's just for the PS5, right?
Yeah, that's for the system.
What about just the faceplates?
Well, the faceplates is online only. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay. That was because it was PS Direct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was through PlayStation Direct. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's possible that the faceplates might have been on GameStop, but I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
But I went up to my GameStop that I normally go to and talked to the manager there, and he was just like, "Yeah, it's coming up on Friday."
Mm-hmm.
And he's a cool guy actually. So he was like, "Look, if you want to put money down on it now, we'll put it on Spider-Man, because that's a game that's coming." He's like, "We can put it on Spider-Man, and I can just shift it over Friday morning as soon as the SKU comes through." And I'm like, "No, I'll come through the store Friday, so just in case you forget or whatever." So it's a good situation, a good setup. It's always good to talk to your local GameStop manager and get cool with them.
See, GameStop isn't the devil after all.
Well, they never have been. People are just mad because it's like, I don't want to pre-order. Well, why not? It guarantees you
get the game
unless something crazy happens.
Right.
Guarantees you're gonna get your copy.
Yeah.
So what's the problem with pre-order? I don't know.
People are lemmings. What can we say? All right, guys, that's more than enough news. Quick news for the day, unless anybody else has anything that they want to bring up.
Oh, you didn't talk about the Lizzo.
No, I don't care enough about that. I really don't.
I mean,
I don't care enough about the whole Lizzo
I
thing.
want to know. So what happened?
Well, apparently she's being sued by some former dancers of certain things like body shaming. I hear something about some kind of sexual assault with a banana and some other stuff.
Okay.
So
sounds like a really weird story.
yeah, but it could be just a bunch of disgruntled people. But
Yeah.
who knows?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gokai Red says he woke up in time not to miss the show. Welcome to the show. Just glad I got the PS5 Spider-Man pre-order this weekend. He missed out on the PS4 Pro Spider-Man, which I did not. I got mine from Best Buy. Put it down right away. So
yeah. See,
Good
I
for
missed
you,
that
man.
one, but I got the better one anyway.
yeah, man. I have to admit that the PS5 one is sweet.
It does look nice,
Ooh,
but
that boy is sweet.
I'm talking about I got the better PS4 Pro.
Oh.
$500 million.
oh yeah, the 500 million one.
Yeah, you did.
I tried to get that on Target, and
Wait, no, I
I
thought
was
that was
right there,
yeah,
and they
anyway,
sold
I
out
digress.
with these stupid fucking bots.
Second.
All right, guys,
Like
that's
50,000
enough
words.
quick news for the day, but we can revisit this some
Hold on,
more.
who's in the chat? Like, let's see, we got Conceptual Alexis. I see Gokai Red. I see Bad Bunny. I see Wolverine Solid X is always there. Who else is in there?
Mora,
Mrs. Amarat.
Gilba Girl, Mrs. Amrock.
All right, so look at that, nice. Look at all the people supporting us nice and early.
All right.
Yeah. And speaking of,
Well, lucky me. Target still had a DualSense, so I'm pre-ordering that now.
There you go.
you're just gonna get the DualSense. You're not gonna get the try to get the faceplates.
I'm good on the faceplates.
What?
I'm good on the faceplates.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Man.
It's like, I mean,
I want the
how often are
faceplates.
you looking at the system? I mean, yeah, it looks cool and all, but
I'll look at every time I
does
walk
it
by.
really?
Every time I walk by, yes.
See, my situation ain't like that. So like, so you see right
Out of sight,
here,
out of mind.
that's my PS5.
He's like, my PS5 is hidden away
Right.
from the
Out
young
of sight, out of mind. I don't care. Yeah, he got
Right,
child
the
protective
controller
services.
I will look at all the
Yes.
time. So
Right.
that's just what I'll be looking at.
He
Here's
got-
the
he
thing,
got
though.
chopped with
I
that
will give
PS5, and I get
Sony
it.
props for at least doing the faceplates.
Yes.
Because it's. Remember back in the day, the only way you could get a limited edition system was to buy a whole new system.
Uh-huh.
Like, come on now, the
Uh-huh.
N64. How many different flavors of N64s
Right.
were
A whole
there?
bunch.
So it's
Or
like
or you pay someone to
mod it for
mod
you.
it for you.
or
Yeah.
customize
What you
it.
call it?
Yeah.
Xbox tried that faceplate stuff though when the first 360 came
That
out.
was
Like nobody freaking I knew
Yeah.
bought faceplates, and apparently they have some rare ones out there, and
They
a lot
did.
of
They
like
did.
the branded
But,
ones.
but the
and
thing is, it was such a convoluted thing taking the damn faceplate off though.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it was just like, okay, you have to do this and then snap this, but make sure you didn't break that. I'm like, nobody wants to go through all of that, man.
I just got rid of my original Xbox and got the Slim or whatever they call it as soon as it was available. I traded
Mhm.
that damn
Oh yeah, just yeeted it. Like, nope,
thing. Yeah.
I'm out.
All right, y'all. We're gonna get ready to. We'll come back in a couple of seconds with our main topic, but first we want to thank all of our lovely patron sponsors.
The entire Culture Junkies crew would like to thank you for tuning into our programming. We hope you are enjoying our content as much as we enjoy making it. One thing that helps us continue bringing you our unique content is viewer support. By visiting the Culture Junkies Patreon page, you will have the opportunity to select the support level that works best for you. Not only will your support help keep the Culture Junkie Nation growing, but you will make yourself eligible to receive patron-exclusive swag. Please take a moment to consider supporting us and join the ranks of the supporters you see listed on the screen. We would like to also give a special shout out to our Culture Junkies level and above patrons: DeMarcus Smith, Fab Nerd Life, Nanette Net, The Other Steve, and Black Crowned Knight. Remember, for as little as $1 a month, you can support a Culture Junkie. Thank you.
Thanks again to all of our lovely sponsors. Head over to patreon.com/Culture Junkies and join for just as little as $1. $1. That's all it'll take you. All right, guys. So we're going to be talking about our main topic of the day, and today's main topic is our childhood has grown up with us. So, in case you've been living under a rock the past couple of weeks, Barbie is absolutely destroying the box office. It is to date amassed over $700 million globally in the box office. Yes.
It's only been, what, 2
I
weeks?
think
Yeah.
I
2
think
weeks.
last time I checked, it was like at 850.
Okay, so
correct.
it's rapidly getting close to that $1 billion mark, and I think projections say it probably will reach it. If not this weekend, maybe by next weekend, we'll see. But it just goes to show, it is a cultural phenomenon.
But it
That
went woke, so it should be broke. What's wrong?
I mean, hey,
What's happening?
who cares what all the detractors say? It's making bank and it's tapping into something that I think people were really thirsting for. But I digress. That's not really what we're here to talk about. It's a popular toy for young women. And the rumors are already out there that Mattel is doubling down and they're going to be trying to find out what other toys they can put into
need
the
not to do
theaters
that.
as an adaptation.
They need
Whether
not
we
to do
talk
that.
about My Little Pony, whether we're talking about Polly Pocket, whether we're talking about any
My
other toy
Buddy's
Mattel's
not
got,
good.
they're going to try and put it in the theaters, right?
Is it My Little Pony owned by Hasbro?
I don't know. Maybe
Hungry
they are.
Hungry Hippos.
I digress. But
They got to do that Hungry Hippos movie. They did,
Oh,
they
God.
did Battleship. They got to do Hungry Hippos.
yeah. So, but in any case, our childhood is growing up. Barbie is a movie that while little girls probably want to go and see it, it's more or less, it's got a lot of mature themes that are present for a lot of adults.
Mhm.
You look at Transformers, that's not necessarily just for little kids, even though little kids can enjoy it. right? More PG-13 than it is rated G or even PG. You look at G.I. Joe, that was more PG-13 than it is, PG or G like we would have got. Masters of the Universe has had a live action movie. We've had, yeah, I know. You less said the better. I know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say, all these things from our childhood are being, pimped or turned into major motion pictures, and with a twist to try and appeal to older audiences that they were never fully really intended for. So, the argument can be made, right, that sure, the audience that will enjoy it the most is the audience that grew up with it. But why do we keep wanting our childhood things to grow up with us? And is that necessarily a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing, but there's two things that goes if you think about it. First off, our side. Our side is that we grew up with these stuff. We enjoy watching them, and when we see things, we get excited because it brings that joy back into your heart, seeing stuff like that. But it does the same thing for the people that are on the other side that makes these things. They saw these things, and they did whatever they did in their careers to get to the movie, back end of it, when they're like, man, this would be cool as shit if we make Transformers, as cool as shit if we make G.I. Joe. What the hell? But for whatever strange reason, they didn't come out as cool. I mean, Transformers was enjoyable. It was entertaining up to a point.
Sure.
But G.I. Joe, I like the first one. Regardless, we're not going to get into that. But, like, all that nostalgia stuff is coming back because it's the people who are our age that are doing these things. They like them that much. There's a lot more. I think there was a lot more people who were nerdy tendencies but had to hide them because they were afraid of how they were going to be looked and perceived by everybody, because it shows. Sorry. You got the friggin' Lego movie, Legos. I'm right here in my 40s, and I'm building farting Legos. Not because the Lego movies, because I still like Legos from when I was, a little kid. And now they got the cool stuff. There's Voltron. There ain't no Voltron Lego when we were growing up. Could you imagine?
Would you have wanted a Voltron Lego when you were a kid, though?
Probably. I mean, I had the Voltron toys, but who knows? I don't know. They just didn't have it. All the cool Legos are coming out now.
Sure.
So it's like the stuff that people wanted and seen, but they can go a little bit too far. I hope we never see a Tiger Sharks movie. Like, seriously, if they do something like that, maybe just throw it in the same world
really a deep dive
as Thundercats.
Yeah.
Supposedly it's been retroactively put into.
Sure.
Yeah.
Same thing with that other one, Silverhawks. I think Silverhawks and Thundercats and Tiger Sharks are supposed to be in the same freaking universe. But we don't need to see everything come back.
Yeah.
Some
They
stuff
would have to change Hot Wings' name, though.
they not gonna do
look,
that.
I have to admit, I was watching Silverhawks on a rewatch just, I think it was like last week or something like that. I was just curious to watch it again. Man, it did not age well. Not at all. It did not age well at all. No, sir. Anyway, GQ, what's your thoughts?
Realistically, when it comes down to it, I would honestly say a lot of the stuff when it comes to like our childhood things, Darian and I'm sorry, not Darian, Dido and I, who Darian is, I don't know where that came from. Kuji and I have had this conversation a lot because we both enjoyed Transformers growing up.
Sure.
But we all have come to the realization and admittance that a lot of them episodes was stupid as all get out.
They were pretty bad.
Yes, sir.
And, they were pretty bad.
Yes,
but
sir.
I think what it really comes down to, and Dido had touched on this, the people that grew up with that stuff are now the people that are making that stuff. And it's like, how can we revisit that but make it cooler than what we remember? In order to do that, you got to kind of raise the level a little bit. You got to make it mature, because a lot of those cartoons and things, they were glorified commercials. That's all they really were. That was truly when they were pimping toys and selling, just basically just getting the kids to be like, here's the new shiny thing, go ask mom or dad for it, or go to Toys R Us, KB, or wherever and try to get it. Nowadays, you don't really get that as much. I mean, yes, they still try to make toys based on a lot of the movies we get, but if you've been down the toy aisle at any point in the last couple years, see that those toys are pretty much trash. In a lot of instances, it sucks to say it, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the times where you get that thing where it's like, you got to have something for the adult that's being dragged to this movie to go see this film. You got to have something for them to sit, and vibe with and kind of enjoy with a lot of these films. So because okay, for example, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The G rating is gone.
Yeah.
Does not exist anymore.
Right.
So you're not going to really get a parent to sit through a Barbie movie that is pandering and just straight up just down to just
Yeah.
looking at all the little girl stuff that's related to Barbie. Because let's be real, and we're gonna, there's a lot of other franchises out there, but Barbie obviously is the hot topic right now.
Right.
Barbie was designed to give girls a vision of you don't have to just be in the kitchen.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be a housewife.
You can be all
Right.
of these various different things, and it's just like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever seen any of the animated Barbie movies that they've done, they are so. It's like, dude, how can anybody watch this? Now, granted, it's not for us. It's not designed for our age range.
So are you saying you actually watched one?
No. I'm just saying just in general because it's like
Okay.
they
Okay.
have them. They've had, obviously this
Just
isn't the
checking.
first Barbie movie that existed, but this is the first live action. But you can't translate that animated Barbie movie to a live action film and do that exact same pandering garbage because it's like, dude, nobody's going to sit through that. The reason I think this film is working because there's so many different levels that it's speaking to.
Sure.
And that PG-13 rating, because again, you can't make it G.
Nope.
It doesn't. The rating doesn't exist anymore. And if you went PG, there's a whole bunch of stuff you'd have to cut out. I think it's resonating with so many different age ranges because it's like they're speaking to that old, all the way back from the 50s Barbie fan, all the way down to this, the young kid that just discovered Barbie for the first time, like, at her 6th birthday party or whatever. So in order for some, anything that we look at, anything that's been successful has to be able to do that. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, you're just pandering to the kids and it's really boring and I don't want to sit through this.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
All right, Fallen.
It helps that it's a comedy.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of that, and along with another beloved franchise, of course, the new Ninja Turtles movie is going to be out soon. And I remember just coming across a post, I think it was yesterday, when they were basically showing the critical reception of every movie that came out since the first one. And obviously the latest one, like, pretty much is beloved by critics apparently. But it's just like it makes me think about when the original one dropped and apparently critics hated it. And even again watching it as an adult, and I'm thinking like, this obviously had to have come out, like, granted it came out when the IP was hot, but that movie was actually a lot better in hindsight that they gave it credit for at the time, because it hits a lot of different beats. It's stuff kids love. It's stuff that adults could gravitate to. I mean, it pretty much has like one of the best like examples of a father figure in a family movie. It's like it's kind of crazy, but again, like, I honestly, like, for a long time that first movie was like the more mature version of it for a long time. And that was back in 1990, like 5 years after the cartoon came out or the comic came out or whatever. So, but to that point, it's like, again, it's like certain IPs, like, it can work depending on what they do with it. So there's room for it. I mean, obviously you have certain ones that go to the far extreme, like, Winnie the Pooh and the Grinch. Like, they've made like complete like R-rated horror movies where, granted, that could work, but you also have to have the competent people, like, to be able to do it, because I've heard both of those movies are terrible. And of course, Dr. Seuss's family are not signing off on anything live action, especially nothing like that with anything dealing with Dr. Seuss. So we already know what was up with the Grinch. They had to label that a parody, I think, in order for that to fly. But or just give it a whole different name. But again, like, if something has a lot of brand recognition and they do something that's interesting that the general audience wants to see, I mean, you could go for it. Granted, Barbie has been an icon, American icon, for a long time now. And I'm not surprised that it doing the numbers that it's doing. So I'm just like, okay, I mean, that's cool. I mean, you made it a comedy, it's a musical, whatever, kind of touches on some things, whatever, but whatever the case may be, it worked. Now, this is going to be the test because now Mattel is trying to use a lot of their other stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Now we're gonna now we're gonna start seeing them lose their minds now. Cause you got what Polly Pocket, Hot Wheels, Battleship, whatever else that Mattel owns. It's like, it's like, okay, guys, it's cool that this movie is done well, and I get you guys are trying to capitalize on your IP, but slow the fuck down,
Right.
please.
All right, hold
Hey.
on. I'm seeing in the chat that there is a back and forth that Barbie is Mattel, but where's the Hasbro thing coming in? Did Hasbro buy Mattel at some point?
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm
so
no,
Barbie
no.
has always been Mattel.
Barbie has always been
she's
Mattel from
never
my
been owned by
understanding.
Hasbro that I've seen.
Yeah, Mattel is still Mattel.
Yeah.
They're still
Yeah, Hasbro has a lot of stuff, but they've never
They
had
don't
Barbie.
have Mattel. That's for sure.
Yeah, Hasbro's
Yeah.
Hasbro's got
What
a
is
lot
he
of IP.
doing?
He's beginning to believe.
now
9 months in a row there.
now the one thing that they do own is they own Fisher Price, which is also a very notable brand. So
Hasbro or Mattel?
Mattel
Mattel.
owns Fisher Price.
But I don't think they're making any
So-
Fisher Price movies anytime soon. Thank God.
They shouldn't, but again, this is Hollywood money that they've gotten.
I mean,
you never know.
they smell the green in the water because it's not even blood in the water. They smell the green. They like, ooh.
So when we gonna
Right.
get Parker Brothers to start making more movies? We got Clue way back in the day. Can I get me a Monopoly movie?
That's all they ever had.
Can I
You
get
know
me
what? Monopoly would be so on the nose and funny if that was
Mhm.
made into a movie.
I know, right?
Like I honestly feel like Monopoly would definitely work as a film just because there's so much there that you can play with that a lot of people can resonate with.
Hasbro owns
like-
Parker Brothers.
Of course they do. You know what's
Well, there
funny
you
though?
go.
I would love to see a movie or at least a documentary about Monopoly, like how it was used in the war. How like they used to like smuggle, I think like maps or intelligence through Monopoly games,
Mhm.
like back in the day. So that would be an interesting story for them to at least put out as a documentary, or if they ever do make a Monopoly movie, put that on as an extra
Sure.
on the film or something.
Who will play Mr. Moneybags though?
I don't
Who
know.
played Mr. Monopoly?
I don't know.
That's a good one. Anyway, I digress.
He's not in jail. You get Rudy Giuliani playing.
No, that's a good one. But anyway, so the other part of the discussion, and as Fallen had mentioned earlier, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a brand that has existed since the 1980s. Very, very strong. In 40 years, it's had. This will be the sixth movie that it's had theatrically, right? So we've had the first three live actions. We had TMNT.
They've
we
had
had
7 movies.
So this is 7. Sorry. This is 7.
They had the first 3.
Yep.
The CG
TMNT. Yep. Which is
one.
still
Then
great.
you had
Bay.
Then you had two
Two Michael
Bay
Bays,
ones, and now
and then this one. Okay. So yeah, that's 7.
Yeah, that's 7.
Yeah, so this
That's
would be
7.
the 7th movie, 7th theatrical release. We know that there's a comic book, a very popular comic book that came out of the past couple of years, TMNT: The Last Ronin, and a lot of people are like saying, "Hey, it'd be great if we got a live action R-rated TMNT." And I think we briefly talked about it, but just speak to the nature of fandom and their incessant need to always want to make everything super dark and mature and violent, as if that correlates to quality or good movie.
Well, people think it's just good because it's mature. I mean, almost if you look at anything, I'm gonna take Marvel for example.
Sure.
The good Marvel movies that people call the good ones. I've enjoyed every single one of them for different,
For
reasons, 'cause
varying
they're
degrees,
not the
sure.
same.
Yeah.
But all the ones that the masses say are the best ones are the ones that have the most mature stuff. Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
that was probably at the
Mhm.
time the most mature one. And then the Infinity War, like everybody, because nobody knew that freaking ending. That shocked the living shit out of everybody, right? And because the day was won in Endgame, you got so many people, yeah, blah, blah. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, that's what's supposed to happen.
Right. It's
You
part
know,
one,
that
too.
is a literal continuation, and you think they're just gonna lose again or whatever. But the mature stuff people seem to like so much. For example, uh, uh just ended. Secret Invasion
Secret Invasion, yeah.
is the lowest
Yes.
rated MCU show, period.
Mhm.
But it's also probably the most mature, more mature than Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's probably the most mature. I enjoyed it, except for the ending. The ending, they
The
felt
ending,
like it
yeah.
was really
The
rushed.
ending, yeah, no.
But regardless of that, you know, consensus with people who I've spoke with like the show,
Mhm.
and it's more mature. Whereas something that's funny and got ha laughs and stuff and it's lighthearted, it's terrible. Because for whatever reason, people think that just because it's got blood and guts in it is going to be great. I mean, I've seen tons of movies that have bloods and guts in it, and it's not
It's terrible.
great movies. That
Yeah.
just doesn't make a movie. You know, I think just people think, well, it's not kiddie anymore, and I'm not a kid anymore. I want to see non-kiddie stuff, and I'm like, Last Ronin was probably a really good comic book. I may read it one day if I can, you know, score a way to get all of it, either via paper or digital. Who cares? Don't care. But I may read it one day. But not everything has to be like that, because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is huge because they made it for kids.
Mm-hmm.
1984 comic book was friggin' mature. Here, Shredder died in the first comic. I heard that his head got cut off.
Oh yeah, it was.
Right?
I mean, the thing is,
Yeah.
I have a lot of those early books. The thing that people are forgetting, the other part of that story that they're forgetting, is they didn't sell that well.
No,
And
it
that's
didn't.
kind of the problem.
And then when they made that
The
the
cartoon,
80s,
though.
the cartoon, complete
Turtles
180, if you want to call it,
everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
blew the fuck up.
They had
Yep.
turtles everything.
Yep.
Back in
So-
the day.
That's just some people's perception for whatever strange reason. They just think that because I'm not a kid, kids don't need to watch it. You know, enjoy the comic. If they make a movie out of it, it probably would be animated, and it's probably not going to come to the theaters
Okay.
for live.
So
live
Yeah.
stream.
speak to that, but also add to it is it seems to be people are trying to escape the connotation that they are a kid at heart because they still enjoy these things, and they think that because they don't want to wear that on their sleeve, they need to make the brand mature along with them, because I don't know, connotation is that, you know, if it's mature, that means they're grown up, and then I'm okay to enjoy it type deal.
So I'm going to start off by saying that most people that have that mindset on things like having to be mature along with them or whatever, most of those people are pretty miserable in life. So I'm not even, it's just like one of those things where it's just like, look, our childhood was literally like the best part of our lives for the most part. So it's like, why not hold on to that? Do we grow up and do we learn lessons? Of course. Do we want something that like appeals to us or whatever the case, maybe when we get older? Of course, that's fine. But people kind of lose sense of that because of, you know, everybody puts so much stock in like, oh, it's rated R, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that, you're gonna see some tits here, blah blah blah, you know, all that shit.
Right.
And it's just like, because this is the thing, a lot of that kind of comes over because folks in our generation, like from like, you know, older millennials, probably some later millennials, but like older millennials and, you know, and older, you know, we grew up on like rated R action movies, which they still marketed to kids, ironically. So it's
With all the
kinda
toys
like,
and whatnot that they did.
Yeah, like the Rambo toys that they
Yeah,
had.
Rambo,
Don't you remember?
RoboCop, all of
yeah,
it.
like, you know, like Terminator,
Yeah.
Alien,
Yeah.
RoboCop.
like
Yeah,
they
RoboCop.
they would
Yep.
they would still make toys and video games based on that stuff, even though it was a rated R property.
Right.
So, you know, I don't think that kind of ended until like the late 90s when, of course, you started having like a bunch of like a lot more moral watchdogs out there. But it like it kind of stems from that, but it also is just like, okay, you know, people have this thing to where like if you grow up where like, well, like, you know, all that kiddie stuff and none of the stuff that whatever, it's like, I mean, it's like I still enjoy shit when I was a kid or whatever. And the thing is, we're in a generation where people are are embracing more embracing their childhood more and not so much get all of it to like, well, I'm growing up, so I'm gonna act this way. But like, no, I like what the fuck I like. So it's just like, hey, if it works, cool. If it don't, whatever. It's just like you have some people who I think have some level, some degree of arrested development that they think that,
Yes, there it is.
it's just like, hey, like if you have this, then the third, like that movie's gonna be great. No, it's not.
Yes.
Like, look, we're still probably about like a couple of years out from Craven the Hunter movie right about now. That shit looks ass. Okay.
They can push that back to never, and we'll be okay. They can push that back to never. No.
So yeah, so it's like, and like it just comes down to people. It's just like folks want to kind of, because we've been taught to forsake our childhoods once we got older, and a lot of us that have grown and learned and understand that life isn't like how folks wanted it to be, like in the midst of all the crazy shit that we keep enduring. No, I'm holding on to my childhood because that was like the best time of our lives. So to hell with that.
So, I love what you said there about folks having arrested development in regards to always wanting stuff to be mature. GQ, would you say that is, do we all have that? Because we, well, maybe not all of us, but would you say the vast majority of, like, say the Snyderverse fans or people of that ilk just have arrested development in that they think that if it's dark, bloody, and violent, that automatically correlates to it's a good movie?
Well, Hand of Omega actually brought up that same point earlier in the chat. He said a lot of people confuse dark with good. He tried to bring up Empire Strikes Back as an example, but that's not a really good example in the sense that Empire Strikes Back actually
it's a good movie.
And it goes dark, darker than its predecessor.
Correct.
But when it comes down to it, I think the problem that you have is people have become a million times more tribal than I think they've ever been, mainly due to social media and just that wanting to belong to something. Because realistically, a lot of the Snyderverse fans were the people that couldn't quite vibe with the Marvel thing, and then like the Marvel train was like leaving the station, and it was like okay, Avengers happened. This train is about to get rolling, and it's about to move. It's picking up steam, and it's going. It's like regardless of whether you like it or not, there's something here. And once Disney took over, then of course you get that whole the front that always hates anything that Disney makes. It's always going to be a problem. It's like, okay, whatever. Winter Soldier happened, and a lot of other great movies happened. Guardians of the Galaxy happened. Guardians 1, 2, and 3 all happened under Disney's watch. A lot of these movies that are really, really good all happened under the Disney banner, whether you like it or not. So it's like you got a lot of people that were, oh no, this is going to be kiddie, and Marvel's too much comedy, and it's like, okay, whatever. What's DC doing for you? Well, DC's about to do that. Snyder's about to bring it home, and it's like, okay, well, Man of Steel wasn't that good because he didn't understand Superman.
I loved it, but that's just me.
Yeah, but you as a Superman fan, full well Snyder did not understand Superman.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
So let's get that out the way.
Yes,
and
100%.
then turning all of these characters that are hopeful and supposed to bring inspire people. The only one that's supposed to be dark is Batman. Really,
that's right.
Out of all of them,
that's right.
But Snyder tried to turn everybody into Batman.
I'm sad.
Yeah, exactly. He tried to turn
I'm underwater.
And again, I had no problem with what, because again, Aquaman to me has always been cheesy.
Yeah,
but I like what Momoa did with it. I like that type of translation, that type of interpretation. That was pretty cool. But you can't do that with every single character, and that's kind of what Snyder tried to do. He tried to make Superman broody. He tried to make He made Aquaman broody. Batman already is broody. Made him even more broody and murderous. I'm like, okay, at some point, you're going to have to bring up that Justice League, which is basically the Hall of Justice and all the Super Friends and all the stuff we all remember. You're going to have to reference that in some form, because otherwise these are just a bunch of anti-heroes.
Correct.
And it's like, okay, so Marvel kept doing their Marvel thing, and it was just like, dude, they're making bank.
Yes.
And y'all are trying to catch up, and you're trying to catch up in all the weirdest possible ways. All of that said to say this, it's like a lot of the fans think they know what they want, and they think they know what's going to be great. And it's like, that might be great in your mind, in your head canon, and all that other sort of thing. That doesn't make money, and that at the end of the day is what all of these films are supposed to do. They're supposed to make money.
I love you said that, right? Because case in point, I was in a Facebook thread earlier today talking about the Wonder Woman 3 announcement and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had one fan in the chat was saying they need to make the Amazons be like it was in 300. And I was like,
no.
We kind of got that in Justice League.
A little bit.
That didn't go very well.
Yeah.
You want to give them a whole movie of that? Good luck, brother.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I mean, if they wanted to do like a Max series for the Amazons, cool. Because I mean,
I don't think anybody will watch it.
It depends. It depends. Because like the thing is, if it's done well, it's possible they could do it. Because the thing is, a lot of people love Greek mythology, and they actually lean more into that instead of just kind of tossing it aside.
Mm-hmm.
People might fuck with it, but it's like, again, it's just like one of those things where it's just like, you know, you kind of have to know. You kind of have to know like what audience is going to appreciate it more. And the thing is that like if you're just having a straight up Themyscira movie, no, you're going to have to do a lot to try to sell that. But if it's a series, you know, you might have a little bit more to work with because a lot of people like a lot of those like, you know, old period piece, ancient, you know, Greek type stuff or whatever. People dig that shit. So
I mean, Mortal Kombat Conquest got away with it for 2 seasons.
It did.
You know, just back in old period piece. They kept hiring Playboy models to be in that.
They sure did.
So
if you want to, me was enjoying that.
Right. If you want to do a Themyscira series based like that, then, you know, you might
I'm
be able
all
to get
for it.
going. But
right.
No, it's just it's possible.
It's very funny. Yeah. It's very funny because like I remember I did like revisit that show like when I was still subscribed to Max. You know what? It's just like, you know, some editing and some acting aside, the show was actually pretty solid and was doing a really good job to kind of expand the lore.
Was Daniel Cosgrove, right?
Was that?
Wasn't Daniel Cosgrove in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Bernhardt. Was Daniel Bernhardt?
No, I'm sorry, Bernhardt. I'm sorry,
Daniel
Bernhardt.
The guy that played
Daniel Bernhardt.
Yeah, I forgot Pablo Montalban, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then the girl that played whatever her name was, I just don't remember her name. I'm sorry because Shang Tsung's assistant was like the baddest chick in the show. So
for real,
I'm sorry. So I don't remember her name, but
I
just love the way the show ended.
Yeah,
Everybody was dead.
Shao Kahn killed everybody.
Dude, you know what? It threw me off. It threw me off when I found out. It threw me off when I found out the actor that played Raiden also played Shang Tsung. I mean, not Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn.
Yeah,
he actually played both of those roles. And
because Shao Kahn was always sitting down.
He was good.
Oh, no, he definitely was. No, he definitely was.
It was like, so it was like, you know, Raiden was like one of the more interesting parts of the show, but for the most part, it was a solid show.
Yeah,
you know. So, but
TNT late at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was like we know we're not gonna get another season. We just gonna go out with a bang. We gonna kill everybody.
Yeah. But I no return. They brought in characters that you did not expect them to bring in. Like, again, it's one of those things where it's like, and that pretty much proves that point. Now, granted, the show got canceled. It wasn't. The show had a lot of heart, and it was actually a little bit better than it had any right to be. But even that wasn't gonna work. Only in the sense that it's Mortal Kombat. You know that's a violent property. You know that if anything needs to be mature, it's Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Problem is the time and the era that it existed in, we didn't have streaming services where you can do that over the top violence and craziness that we can get now, like stuff like The Boys and the various things. Could you imagine if they did the Mortal Kombat Conquest in modern times? We're able
to if they had the production production budget behind it and stuff like that, whatever, like that would have kicked ass.
If they have the crew that does Warrior behind it, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Because Warrior is awesome.
Well, the thing is, the martial arts wasn't a problem on that show.
No, it wasn't.
Zero, the guy to play Zero, of course, Daniel Bernhardt was in John Wick. He was, I think, Agent Brown in the second Matrix. He's a legit martial artist.
He's legit.
His scenes were always good. They got Chris Casamassa, the dude that played Scorpion in the first Mortal Kombat, to be in it as Scorpion again, and he probably did a lot of other, fight work. But again, that would be something that would be actually really cool.
Yeah.
Take
if
it
they
all.
could
No, it would.
revisit that, but obviously they're
No, it
not
would.
going to. But
So we're coming up to the time, getting ready to turn it over to you, the people. Hopefully you guys got comments on this and more. I see a lot of people talking about Zack Snyder should have directed a Mortal Kombat movie, which absolutely not.
Oh my goodness.
No, that should not happen. But in any
I
case,
have a lot of allergies, so you might want to think about that.
yes, all of that and more is up for debate, and the power is yours. Take it away.
Oh, I can knock this out.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but it was a fun show.
Yes, it was. The way they ended that boy. Woo! Awesome. Yes, it was.
All right. Yeah, he played in Bloodsport 3 and 4.
Yes,
That
he
is
did.
correct. Yeah, dude's awesome.
He is.
God, what movie did I have? Something I watched recently that he was in. I think it was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called actually I did a review on it way back when I first got it. I forgot it. It was
Did I see that?
it was one of
I
those.
think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was
but-
it was like one of his direct to DVD or Blu-ray movies.
Yeah.
God, what was the name? It's one of those simple like 1 or 2 word titles too. I just can't remember the name.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys. So what you guys want to talk about? What's on the docket for what do you guys gotta want to discuss or hear us discuss?
Patty and they're talking about
Who wins at SummerSlam, Roman or Uso? Probably Roman.
Probably Roman.
Yeah, Roman's gonna go over, but it's gonna be a nice hard fought battle, or they might bring Jimmy back to run some interference or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Jack.
Yeah, I'm so much looking forward to seeing SummerSlam and live and in person.
Yeah, it
this
is gonna be
weekend.
fun.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see it. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Parking.
Let's see.
Parking's about to be ridiculous.
Yeah, man. What did you say? The highest we saw
The
was
highest is
150.
to park right by the venue. I ain't paying no 150 now. Come on.
Heck no. Heck no.
Yep.
Roman
Try to
not
look
gonna
at-
lose the title till Mania. I don't even know if he's gonna lose it then.
It depends- it
He would have had
depends
it
on-
4 years by then.
It depends. It depends on who they build up between now and then. And,
Like I'm super disconnected. Like I didn't even watch Raw. I thought I would watch Raw to kind of start to get some of the storylines going into SummerSlam. I haven't watched Raw. I don't know if I'll even have time to watch SummerSlam. SmackDown comes on Thursdays now, right? Or is it
Friday.
still Fridays? Is it still
Friday.
Fridays? Okay.
Yep.
yeah.
I'm gonna be busy. Might not be able to watch SmackDown on Friday. So I'll be going into it cold. But it still should be fun. I won't really care.
All right, it was 3-word title, sort of. Gonna abbreviate it. The movie is called Kill 'Em All.
Kill them all.
It's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Came out in 2017. It was
Kill
one
'em
of those
all.
like I literally bought it because it was like, dude, this thing is $5. Why not? Here you go.
Right. This is $5 pen.
Yeah, it's one of them $5 bin movies, and oh my goodness. Now here's the thing: I reviewed it. The movie was funny just because of the fact that it's one of those. You got a big action name, but it's still low budget, almost like like all the Seagal's movies. You know, big action name, but super low budget. It was funny. Wait, what? What?
I'm
They cut
reading
the-
that too. Wait, Becky
cut
Lynch
the
versus
Becky
Trish has
Lynch
been
versus-
cut?
Why?
What is you
Uh-oh.
talking about?
Did Trish get injured or something?
Okay, I need to read up on that. We'll be reading up on that. Hannah Omega says, I heard a rumor that Dido hates Amy Rose, and I just want to know why.
From
Dido?
Sonic?
I have no idea of why he would say something like that.
And said it. I don't know.
So I mean, you never know with
Making
him.
stuff
So
up again.
Amy Rose. Talking about the Bat character from
No,
Sonic?
Amy Rose is the pink hedgehog first seen in Sonic CD. It came out for the Sega CD, or as the rest of the world likes to call it, the Mega CD. I don't like it that way. Sega CD sounds better.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, Mega Drive and a Mega CD and a Mega Pegasus and some reindeer.
oh wow, it is true.
But no, I have no problem. I don't understand why I would hate Amy Rose.
So here it is. It says Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus will not take place at SummerSlam. After weeks of build, the rematch will take place on an episode of Raw next month.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
I want to hear Trish's
Woo,
music.
woo, woo, woo.
I want to hear
So-
Trish's music again.
Me too. So they're moving it as announced on Monday's Raw episode. Lynch versus Stratus in the Night of Champions rematch is set for the Monday, August 14th Raw in Winnipeg. So they're basically taking it to Trish's hometown.
Okay, whatever. Interesting. Well, if she's in her hometown, she's got to lose.
Mhm.
Usually how that works. Whatever.
That's trash.
All right, so Go-Kai Red's gonna miss SummerSlam because of a family reunion, but it's on Peacock, so you can just rewatch it whenever.
Sure can.
I mean, like, you know, obviously when
Probably
you want to
edit it,
experience, you know, you want to experience it live, or, you know, or at least while it's happening. All right, pretty sure you're talking
Yeah,
about
we
already.
did.
Yes, we did. R.I.P. to Paul
Yes, we
Rubens,
did.
who was
Conceptual
Penguin's,
Elixirs isn't
Penguin's
Trish
father
Stratus.
twice.
Yes.
And matter of fact, what's her name? What was it? Lorraine something. What was that little girl's name in Pee-wee's Big Adventure that he ran into at the diner?
Dottie?
Dot, yeah. She actually played his wife in Batman Returns.
Huh,
Yeah,
okay.
Those two were Penguin's parents, basically.
You know what I find funny about Pee Wee Herman, aka Paul Rubens, is that back a long time ago, 25 years ago, when he got canceled for doing
the adult theater thing.
But I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious because not only was he in the theater, it was a comedian that brought this up. He was in the theater watching porn, and he didn't force anybody to watch it. He was kind of doing it kind of in the area that you would think something like that would happen,
Mm-hmm.
but somebody told on him. Like, I'm back there trying to watch this porn movie.
Of course.
Right.
And you got this guy
No
over here checking.
motherfuckers
I was like,
always nosy.
Wow.
Can't
that's
mind
the
their
part
own
that I
damn
think is
business.
hilarious. Like,
Hold
this
on, I got
comedian
a
said
special
that. I
one
was
for
just like, yeah,
something.
you
Let
know?
me find this one. Where's it at? I gotta hit him with this one. He gonna say that about Trish Stratus.
How dare you,
Shame-
sir?
Shame be a. Hold on, where, man?
Where is it?
Oh, wait. It's
Dishonor on
there it is,
you,
right here.
dishonor on your cow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Isn't Trish
Dishonor
Stratus
on
100?
you.
Yeah.
Dishonor
Whatever.
on your cow, dishonor on your whole family.
Right.
The boys spinoff Gen V. Thoughts?
I just don't get it. Like, why you got to spin off everything? Just focus on the one show. Like,
Well, Gen V is what the
That shows-
younger version of the boys, basically.
yeah, I mean, but
sorta.
I don't know, dude. It's like
So-
we still have.
That series stressed me out, so like I don't plan on watching it anytime soon, if ever. So
So speaking of that, right? Doing the spinoffs, they got to maximize the brand while it's out there. That's why The Walking Dead had Fear the Walking Dead. That's why they've got
Dude, they got
The
too many
Walking Dead.
They got too
The
many
Walking Dead, Dead City, I think,
That's
with
what I
Negan and Negan and Maggie. They got the spinoff with Daryl, Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, which is getting a second season, by the way.
okay.
I'm just like, come on, man, really?
So Daryl's on his own now.
Yes, Daryl's on his own now. He's got his own show. Like, y'all could have done that years ago, and it would have been much better. If we're still supposed to get the long-awaited comeback of Rick,
Ain't nobody
I
gonna
don't
care
get
by
it.
the time he comes back.
right?
dude.
Right? Like, I remember
that's
seeing
what
the
I was
trailer.
wondering. Like I was like, does anyone even care about that anymore?
Yeah,
Like
we gonna have Walking Dead SVU by the time they done.
Right? It's crazy, dude.
For real.
It's crazy.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
that's crazy.
Zombie victims unit and whatnot.
Hannah Omega says he's got his max count working, so he can finally watch Shazam 2 and Flash. Let
He
us
got
know
it
what you
max
think
account
about
work.
that.
You mean you paid the bill? Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe that's what he's saying. Let us know what you think about that. When that gets on.
Flash is not max.
If you watching both of those back to back, sir,
You might need to take a break.
Oh.
Pimple Popper has a show.
Huh?
I'm just looking on.
So
Max.
Bad Bunny,
gotcha.
Bad Bunny, please do tell. If the Flash isn't on Max, where is it?
It might be on streaming. It might be straight
I
up just
think that
rent.
you know what? Let me see. It's August. I think I think the Flash is supposed to be on Max later. I know it's on VOD in general.
Yeah, I think
But,
Flash is
like,
trying to
it's-
make up as much money as they can.
Oh, gotcha.
So Flash, I don't think won't be on Max until probably September. I think.
Yeah.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Everybody that would have cared about it would have watched it by then, I think. So,
You would
I
think,
mean, I think
or has
everybody-
found other ways to get a hold of it.
or yes, those people that
Like
found
me.
alternative ways to view
They're trying
those
to
things.
support
So,
that
yeah,
behavior.
right. We don't condone that kind of behavior around here.
You don't even know what.
We don't know what you're talking about.
I don't. We don't. But we can't control what you do.
No, we can't. No, we cannot.
Wasn't that basically iZombie in regards to?
I don't really care. I'll watch it casually. See, he's gonna have it on in the background. Not even really watch the movie. He's just have it on as background noise.
I mean,
Oh no, he's gonna be hooked. No. I will say this about watching The Flash: he's gonna be hooked when he see that first action scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There's gonna be
Not-
moments that's gonna pull your
for not
attention
the
back to the
reasons
screen, no matter what
intended.
you're doing. Because you'll be
Not
like,
the
how
reason he intends, but
Right.
he's gonna be like,
you're gonna be
Like,
sitting
what
there
is
like, how
this?
did they green light this?
Right.
Like,
They
some of
let
the
this
stuff
out
you
of
see-
the digital? Like, what is this?
some of the stuff
Everything
you
about
see,
that
man.
everything about that first act,
Here's
I
the
just
thing,
had
though.
major issues
Here's
with.
the thing. I'm going to buy that movie as soon as it comes out on Blu-ray, and here's why. I want to hear that director's commentary.
Bullshit, you
I
know
swear
you
to
can't trust
God.
anything he
I
says.
swear to God, I want to hear that director's commentary because I want to know the thoughts that went through these people's minds
So is Ezra
when
on
they
it?
was doing all.
Do we know?
I'm almost positive Ezra ain't gonna be on that commentary. Ain't no way in hell. They'll find a Dolly Grip and put him on the commentary before they put Ezra on the commentary, dude.
know what?
Hannah Omega's asking, well,
you
go
know
ahead.
what? We would have to like try to see if we could do like a watch party or something and just listen.
Oh,
to
that'd be
the
hilarious.
play or something.
That'd be hilarious. Because I want to hear this from this director's mouth. What the thought process was and some of the stuff you threw in this movie, dude. I gotta hear this, dude. Matter of fact, get the lead editor and put him on the commentary too. I want to know all of it. Like, how did y'all come to these conclusions? And like, yeah, let's do that.
That sounds like
Right.
a great idea.
Goodness, man. All right, let's see.
and
Hannah
Hannah's
Omega,
asking, will
absolutely
the
not.
See, there you go, Bad Bunny.
It
All-
more than likely,
that's what it's all about,
it more
Bad
than
Bunny.
likely won't.
Bad Bunny, that's what it's all about. I will see superhero film, even if it's bad, I'm going to enjoy it. Because that's the thing. It's
Hey,
all in fun.
That's cool. That's cool. I ain't got nothing against that. I just, you know.
Oh, yes,
it's
you do, because
just-
you won't watch Fast and Furious no more.
That's because I have a tolerance for just stupid.
Look,
okay?
man, I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at all of the extra features for the Flash, and
Blu-ray?
not a single thing on here says anything about director commentary.
better-
I'm
man,
not
they
doing it.
better-
You can't make me.
Not a single thing. There's a whole bunch of featurettes.
I guess he ain't trying to go on record.
Right, a whole bunch of featurettes, but
Like,
not
it's like I
director's
said what I
commentary.
said.
Right.
He's like, I said what I said. That's it.
Yo, so speaking of director's commentary, this is as a side note. Snyder's talking about, because Sucker Punch's 10th anniversary?
10?
I know it's gotta be
thought
past
older
10.
than
It's gotta
that.
be way
Or
past
25th?
It's gotta be older than
No, it can't
that.
be the 25th. Ain't no way that
No,
movie's
no, it ain't
25 years
that
old.
old.
No,
It's,
at
right,
least
it's,
that
it's at
old.
least
Oh, hell
15.
no.
It's
Maybe,
at least
okay,
15.
15
At least. At the very
2011.
least.
15th
2011?
anniversary. He
Yeah,
was saying
2011.
something about, I'm
That's
going
it?
to do,
Yeah,
I'm going to get around to one of these days doing a director's cut of Sucker Punch. And I'm like, come on, man.
Hey,
Really?
Sucker Punch was actually fun.
I need to go back and
Are
watch
they
it because
even
I was
Visually, it was
disappointed the
cool.
first time watching it.
Like, is he even still allowed to touch that? Like,
But Sucker Punch?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure you
Oh,
can.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Here's the thing. He's basically saying to a movie company, hey, remember that old movie that I did? I want to add some more to it, and it's so y'all can basically remarket it and put it back out and
Snyder
make
cut.
money on it. Right, exactly. He's Snyder cutting it. So here's the thing. A lot of people didn't like Sucker Punch because they were like, oh, it was so weird.
Felt like false
I'm
advertising.
it's-
I just,
You know
yeah, I
what?
kind
It
of felt like it
felt
was
like
false
false
advertising
advertising.
because I thought I was going into some kind of like
Yes.
badass action
Yeah,
movie with the girls.
Yeah, that
and,
was me.
and that's
And it
You know,
wasn't.
that's
and
fine.
this is my
That's why I need to
thing when
rewatch
it comes to that movie, because I did intend to try to revisit it one time until I actually saw like a review of it and saw what his purpose for it was, and I'm just like, you pretentious ass, like, don't stop it. Like,
Here's the
he was
thing.
trying he was trying to speak to something about patriarchy with the movie. Like, he was trying to speak to that, but it's kind of like,
But the thing is, it's like, okay, here's the thing. And this is why I don't get into this is why, like I said, I don't really put a whole lot of stock in reviewers that try to like, oh, there's this message that they're an agenda that they're pushing. It's like
no. Zach said it. This is from Zach's mouth.
Again, I get what you're saying, but that might be what he was trying to convey. If you sit there and get that out of this film, you're looking way too deep into this film, because the film itself is just straight up like, look, it's a fantasy film. It really is. It's a fantasy movie. Like, the girl basically goes through a traumatic thing with her home situation. She gets sent to a psychiatric ward, and then they turn like a little bit of Wizard of Oz, a little bit of there's another almost Alice in Wonderland. There's a little bit of like a lot of that type of storytelling, symbolism, and all that other stuff in there. And it's like if you're paying, see, I like movies that were like if you pay attention to them, there's clues that were given to you during the watching that explain exactly what the payoff is. I like films that do that, and Zach did that in that film. So
Jeff Gann, I want to thank you for following the Culture Junkie Nation. Welcome to the show.
Jeff Gann, appreciate you.
Hopefully, we will see your.
Look you up or something.
Hopefully, we will see your first comment here in a second, and we can directly talk to you. All right, Roman.
Got a little bit of Tyrese on there for you. Wait, Roman Pierce. A little bit of Roman Pierce for you. But no, Sucker Punch again. I will challenge everybody. Go revisit that movie and just don't try to. Don't try to like worry about what the message or what the symbolism. Just watch the movie. The movie is fun.
Jeff Gann says, "What up? I actually work on movies and TV shows." Hey, cool. So
nice.
What types of what movies and TV shows? I mean, obviously,
don't violate no
violate no agreements, nothing. But what have you worked on that you could freely talk about that you ain't that won't get you in trouble? Bad Money says he watched
nice.
Black Panther, Ozark. Hey, cool. No, that's cool.
I need to finish Ozark.
So
I
haven't seen a single episode of Ozark, but I've heard it was like one of the greatest shows ever.
It's really good.
One of the greatest shows ever.
It just I kind of started fizzling out towards the last season because like I kind of knew what things were going, and I think people were making dumb decisions. But of course, everybody got to make dumb decisions in the shows instead of making, hey, let's make these decisions and get out of here.
Oh yeah, but you got the show's got a show.
Yeah.
Right. So Jeff, just real curious, what has been your favorite show that you've worked on? That whether it be Black Panther or Ozark, or what's been your favorite thing that you've worked on? I know because Jeff is here and he's new to the show, we're gonna go over it just by a couple minutes.
Also, Panther, yeah, very cool. I'm sure that would have been a awesome experience.
Oh man, yeah, that once in a lifetime experience. I'm sure.
That's awesome.
Head of Omega says, we talk Secret Invasion yet, or is that saved for later? So technically, yeah, we could talk about it. I mean, it is the power is yours, but so since you put it out there, Martin Freeman stand-in and body double, cool. So were you also a Skrull? Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's a fair question.
That's a fair question. No, that's a fair question.
So that means we've seen Jeff on screen a few times.
We have. We might have to go back and see him in
Panther.
He's the one that jumped off that roof. Cool. And turned to a Skrull.
So, right, he's like, Martin Freeman was like, I ain't jumping off this damn roof. Get Jeff to do it. Anyway,
there you go.
Yeah,
that's cool though.
Right? No, that's really cool.
Hold on. Glad to have you. I got back up a little bit.
Oh, you got pics on Instagram. Oh, my man. Okay.
Oh, nice. We got to check you out, man.
You have to check you out. You have to put the you can't share links in the chat, so you might have to whisper it to us, and then we'll put it out there. So share us a whisper, and then maybe we'll put it in the chat. We can get a few new follows.
What was it? Somebody just said it.
Secret Invasion?
No, not Secret Invasion. It was somebody said they like Morbius.
He's talking about that was Bad Bunny. He was talking about how he watched Morbius and Venom, and going over how he liked
Morbius more than Carnage, more than I think it's Carnage.
Is that what he said?
That's not.
Oh, he said I liked Morbius. LOL. Like how? And he said they could have done better with Carnage though.
Oh, okay.
They absolutely could have done better with Carnage. Like
now going back to our original topic, yeah, Carnage is one that had to have been needed to be rated R.
Rated R. 100%.
I was so mad when they didn't do that one. I'm like, come on, dude.
Technically, you could have. It wouldn't have been as effective, but technically, you could have.
No. Cletus Cassidy is a serial killer who got a symbiote.
It was just a poorly made movie all the way around. Even if it was rated R, it still would have been stupid. Like the kills would have been more interesting.
PG-13 Carnage was a total letdown. Yes, 100%. No question.
The only thing I can say is the kills would have been more interesting. But that story still would have been ass.
Oh, no. The story was terrible.
Story was 100% dog
water. At least
water.
you could have been truer to the character. Because the thing is, Ronald McDonald, wig aside at the end of the first movie. As soon as I saw that, like, they got Woody Harrelson to be Cletus Cassidy, I'm like, oh, I'm ready for this. Because we all know Woody can go crazy. We all know after Natural Born Killers, I'm like, dude, Give me that as Cletus
Bro,
Cassidy.
listen, I keep saying this. When I saw that movie, I knew this was about to be trash the moment they used Willie Harrison's voice ADR over the younger version of Cletus.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Soon as when I saw them do that, I'm like, oh, I know this movie about to be ass.
Yeah. And the worst part is, it could have been so good. You had good talent in place all the way across the board, and it just nope. Like, all right.
Oh, sir.
Yeah,
Y'all can have this. That's why no one is. This is why no one is jumping on board with Kraven the Hunter, because they know they're expecting more than the same, only with an R rating. It's just like, I'm dead. Sony, you can have that. Like, it's like, look, all the projects that they are delaying right now. Listen, just cancel all your other Marvel stuff except Spider-Verse. Okay, can we agree on that?
Right.
Like,
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yes, we 100% can.
Also, to the community, welcome back from the ad break. If you don't want to get interrupted by ad breaks, just make sure you go on over to that subscribe.
All right, I just
subscribe.
followed Jeff over on Instagram with our Culture Junkies account.
You got a new follower there, Jeff.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, so going over to the subscribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Or if you got the Amazon Prime, you can use Amazon Prime to subscribe. That way you don't have to worry about ad breaks, breaking up the flow of the action.
Prime it.
And the fun. Prime that. Prime it.
Prime it like you did when you cutting your grass before you pull that chain. Prime it.
There's the link for the rest of you all if you guys want to go and check out Jeff Gann's.
Yeah, Wolverine Solid X. Appreciate the follow for Jeff there.
Yep. So
Lion's blood made Craven.
part of me is looking forward to Craven. See, okay, I can't even front and act like I'm looking forward to Craven. I'm not. I'm not at all. Like, that movie should never come out ever.
We are the only thing that we are looking forward to is the company and to just both witnessing how dog shit that movie is going.
Yeah, absolutely. I am waiting to Mystery Science.
I don't need to pay money to see that, though.
Theater 3000, that bad boy.
I don't need to pay money to see it, though.
Oh no, I'm going to pay money. I'm going to see it on the biggest screen I can see it on, so I can laugh and enjoy the hilarity that ensues. Because it's going to be funny if it ever comes out. Because the strike has put a lot of things on hold. Catwoman's. Oh, hold on. That's a good question.
Yeah, I see some pictures. Yeah, here's him with Ryan Coogler. I see the pictures on Jeff's Instagram. Here's him with Ryan Coogler. That's cool.
All right, so Bad Bunny. What'd you think of that Catwoman movie?
Oh,
with Halle Berry.
Oh.
No, they meant Catman. They talk about like the story.
No.
I understand that. I'm
asking
what the opinion is on the Catwoman movie, since saying that
he watches all.
They said they enjoy a bad movie,
right? Whether it's bad or good, all superhero movies. Watch them all.
That's true. I mean, that's true. I mean, we've seen the bulk of them up to this point. Although I think like out of all the movies like pre MCU, the only one I skipped was Jonah Hex. I had no interest in it.
I did not see that one. I totally forgot it existed.
Here's the thing. Here's what got me into Jonah Hex. John Malkovich. I enjoy John Malkovich no matter what John Malkovich is doing. I enjoy John Malkovich in Transformers 3 because John Malkovich was hilarious in that movie. So I will enjoy watching John Malkovich play whoever the hell John Malkovich is going to play. So when John Malkovich played the villain in Jonah Hex, I had fun watching it because the movie itself was so bad.
It's on Max, so I'm gonna.
There you go. Go ahead.
Fire it up one day.
Fire it up and watch it one of these days. Yeah, see, there you go. Michael Fassbender was in Jonah Hex. He was good. That's another one. Fassbender's another one. If Fassbender shows up, it's probably going to be something interesting, at least for that moment.
I mean, at least it's not Assassin's Creed.
He couldn't say Prometheus, though.
He couldn't say, nobody could say Prometheus. Prometheus, going back to Daitakuji's point about Ozark, Prometheus could have been saved in the first 2 minutes if they would have just left when that daggone snake reared up and was like, get the hell away from me.
Like, what do snakes do on Earth?
Right.
Yeah, okay, aliens.
They do the exact same thing.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. And then here's the worst part. What was it? Prometheus. He had Prometheus, and what was the follow-up? What was the follow-up to that one?
Alien Covenant?
Yeah, Alien Covenant. I'm like, dude, y'all are the dumbest scientists ever. I'm going to go into this planet I've never been on. I'm going to take my helmet off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Hey, the air is breathable. I'm gonna take this thing off.
The air is breathable, but you do realize there's still spores
Right.
and pollen. And
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Again,
You know, anytime
movie's got a
I
movie.
always think of somebody pulling off their helmet on an unknown planet. Like I always think about the original Total Recall every time.
Mhm. Okay. Jeff said the stand-in work on Ozark led to the job on Black Panther. That's cool.
That's dope, man.
That is the one thing about the movie industry, though, is like if you
Good
do
one.
good and forgive the pun, stand out,
Yep.
you usually can just get kind of not passed around, but you know what I'm saying. You will get recommended to be on other stuff.
So Jeff, I'm very glad that you joined the channel. Hope that you will come back and join us next week. I would love to know what your aspirations are, like beyond just being a stand-in. Are you trying to work your way up to being like stunt work, or being behind the camera, working on sets and stuff like that? Because that's always very fascinating. When you hear somebody that's involved in the movie making business and all that problems. He's like, it all happened in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, it moves quick.
It's that quick?
Like Ferris Bueller said, man, life moves fast.
Life moves fast. Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir. That's dope, man.
All right, guys, we gave you an extra 10 minutes over on the show, but let me fill you in on what's going to come on next week. This one's been a long time coming. It's been in the works for a long while. I got a good friend of mine. Don Shanahan is a film critic. His site, Every Movie Has a Lesson, is where he publishes all his reviews. He's a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic, and he was going to help us get into the mind of a film critic in today's day and age. So join us back next week for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live with my friends, the Great Adakuji, GQ, and Fallen Marvel. I'm your host, Kenshiro. We hope you have a great week. Have a great one. Peace out.
Bye-bye,
You know what?
everybody.
Before we go, I do want to say that you didn't know we hopefully will have a special episode of Culture Junkies Live. I don't know if we'll do it on our YouTube or we'll do it to our Twitch. Don't know. But we're going to be at Really Cool Comic Con this weekend. I forgot to make a graphic. Sorry about that. Bad, Kenshiro. It's bad on me. But we're going to be at Really Cool Comic Con. It's going to be our first con that we're going to be live at in a number of years. So we're going to be broadcasting live from there. We're going to be selling some shirts. So if you happen to be in the Flint area and you want to come out to Really Cool Comic Con and see us, come and holler at your boys. We'd love to see you. So join us out there. It starts this weekend. Doors open, I think, at 9 a.m.
Yep.
I think. And it's only Saturday and Sunday.
Yep,
so
bring your bottled water with you.
yes, you do.
That's
Wow,
great.
that's such a low
I'm
blow.
just being
That's
safe.
that's such a low blow. All right, guys. With that being said, we hope you have a great week. Take care now. Oh, let me go ahead and raid.
We got a raid.
Wow.
Gotta raid
that's
Sam. See
cool.
if Sam is live, and she is live.
Oh yeah, hold on.
And-
So I did see that. WCW wrestler. That's awesome.
Well, I think you're pronouncing it wrong.
Great podcast. Catch you guys next time. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Appreciate that.
Goodbye.
It's actually pronounced Madropodes.
Well,
Go
why
ahead,
doesn't
son.
it sound like that when
I don't know if
Wow.
that's the
Meat
same
trays.
Jeff Gann. That's a WCW wrestler because the IMDb said he died 2 months ago.
Ooh,
Jeff Gann, the wrestler.
really?
According to IMDb, unless that's a ghost of Jeff Gann.
Well, it could be
It's probably a different
could
Jeff
be
Gann.
Junior.
Could be a junior.
Or Junior, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, the gambler. Jeff, yeah, retired wrestler. He WCW, he passed away. So I don't think it's that Jeff Gann.
No, it's not him.
Could be it.
No. He said his father was a.
Oh, his father then it must have been it. And he is
It must have been his
obviously the
dad.
junior.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. Oh wow.